Hey everybody, welcome to the Bachelor Pad / the JakeCast.com. I'm actually looking at possibly setting up a website. So I've got everything where all the content can go to the website. Obviously, start pushing some products, try and turn a nickel out of doing podcasting and whatever. What a weird, zany week this has been, right? We've got almost war / nuclear war with North Korea. We've got all the craziness going on with the neo-Nazis, white supremacists, yahoos, all this stuff. Then on top of it, then we've got to listen to the president's comments, one way or the other. I mean, it's good. It's really weird to me when you look at social media and now, like, people that you're friends with or your slight acquaintances with, and when you look at them and you think, I know you pretty well, right? You seem like a rational, normal individual, and then you get the inner workings of the way their mind actually processes information. I looked at a lot of the stuff with everything that happened in Virginia. And there's this thing, this protesting, counter-protesting. And it's weird. I generally don't agree with 99.9% of whatever the president says. But when you've got people protesting and then you've got people counter-protesting, we've seen it quite a bit with protest. You've got antagonists, you've got other people. Now look, I'm not a racist. And not because I care or don't care. That's more on the side of I don't care. And I've got my dog, just to show you how much I don't care. I've got my dog in around the house while I'm doing this podcast. So if you hear weird noises and whatever, it's not ghosts, it's not evil spirits, it's my giant dog being a dick while I'm doing a podcast. But I watched this, and this troubled me because now when you get into freedom of speech and whether there's no room for hate speech and this, and I get it. I get what all the social ramifications are about. I get it. I don't like to. If I saw some neo-Nazis over there doing some weird stuff and standing with picket signs, like not inhibiting my way into a business or somewhere I was trying to go, knock it off. I would probably go, those guys are fucking idiots, right? And then I would go to where I was going. I would talk about it here. I would talk about it to other people, try and figure out the sociological reason and why, and maybe just beg the question, why are they doing this? Is it politically motivated? Is it, there's a million other reasons. Well, then now I looked at anytime somebody's doing that, you have the counter protesters that go and get either directly in their face. I don't know if you saw it. It was on ABC News 7 from, it had to have been from North Carolina. It was from North Carolina. And as I looked at it, there was a gentleman standing there saluting right? Not the smartest. He's drawing attention. The lady's drawing attention. And now it's been brought to my attention. But listen to this as it happens. Give me 1 second here, see if I can get it queued up. Oh, just as I'm doing that, somebody decides to chime in on my messenger. All right.
Go home. Racist, 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 go home.
So as you can hear that, you've got a woman basically standing in front of the guy, I mean, he's a simpleton at best, right? He's wearing old Confederate clothing and whatever. Now, he may have his own reasons. And that's the thing about things being personal, and not everything can matter the exact same to everyone. But this guy's standing there, boom, and he's saluting a statue of some sort, right? He's carrying a Confederate flag and he's doing whatever. He's not talking to anyone. He's not doing anything. So this woman, a pretty young lady, walks up, and she looks like she's in her late 20s, early 30s, and standing in front of him with her hand pointing out there very close to his face and saying, "Racists, go home." Now, I look at it and I may have that thought, but what possesses one to go get directly in somebody's face? Now, I read a million comments after it that why would you even care? You know, everyone feels now, you know, with some of these social, you know, with some of these social issues going on, that they can make a change and they can interact some kind of, and that's great. I think it's awesome. But you do know you're putting yourselves generally in harm's way by doing this and being involved in it. And look, I don't fault you for it. I think it's honorable, I guess. I personally think it's stupid. There are, like, if you look at it like this, there are millions and millions of people on this planet, right? They're all doing their stuff. And some people hate spaghetti. Some people just completely can't deal with tacos, the texture, whatever. Of course, I'm making light because we're not talking about race issues. But even when it comes to race issues, there are certain people that do not like the culture of another. I think that's perfectly fine. I don't know where inside my head I'm allowed to, where I'm allowed or disallowed to like or dislike anything, right? I have preset biases from people I've dealt with. Now, granted, I may be individual here, maybe individual there. I just generally don't care, right? I like people. I like just about everybody I come into contact with. But I don't understand in the president's stupid, in his comments where, there was, there were wrongdoings on both sides, and that infuriated everyone. After I watched what he said, and, there was a smidgen and a slathering of rational thought there, right? Because if Robert E. Lee or any of these things in these areas, they say we want to take this down because it's a symbol of racism. And same thing with the Confederate flag. And I get it how some, would find it offensive, but because it is offensive, are we going to begin to erase history, right? Now, this is why we have some of the problems we have currently, because when you go back to ancient Egypt and you go back to the Middle East, and there was a ton of writings that were destroyed and completely demolished that could have given us some more insight on history. Look, that history is real. I don't think we need to take it down and tear it down. You can go to other places and still see history alive and well, and it teaches a lesson. And hey, Daddy, what was that? Well, there was a time that half of the country believed that our country should keep slave labor, and this is what they're going to do. They separated from the Union, and then there was a civil war to help it not happen again, and for a good talking and teaching point. And the president comes out and says, well, the anti-protesters, they didn't have their paperwork that they were going to protest. They came there to protest the protest that was protesting taking down the statues. So when those people clash, and he was like, there's wrongdoing on both sides. Now, if you're a politician or you're trying to make everyone happy with everything you say, you've got the alt-right and the alt-left and all these weird movements. And I, again, don't understand how people attach themselves. Oh, I'm the alt-right, I'm the alt-left, I'm a conservative, I'm a Democrat, I'm a whatever. It hurts my brain. And I know this isn't a very funny segment, but it's kind of topical in what's been going on, over the last week that has been polarizing us. But even in a different way of looking at it, we could be literally bombed off the face of the earth, or nuclear weapons, and a lot of people say that North Korea doesn't have the ability to do it. They've only got a certain amount, and we've got a good defense system. But you do realize, I just hit the table, that it looks like we just, explosion went off around here. That once you start those dominoes falling, that you mess with North Korea, and they get into it, right? Well, if the allies of, North Korea being China, and China gets involved, and we make one misstep, and then you've got China, Russia, now you're looking at a world war, and now everyone who's sitting around just enjoying life come on with the squeaky toy. No, you're just sitting around enjoying life, and whatever you want. Oh, you're upset about racial issues. Guess what? No worry about racial issues when nuclear bombs are going off. So it baffles me the way the human psyche works, that you can be on the brink of war, all these things, but yet you're going to get really upset about all these other things that have been around for a zillion years, and it's going to rule your life. And I don't know if it's a distraction. I would like to say, oh, the media, but not a quarter of the people are paying attention to media like they used to, right? We get it from Facebook, we get news clips and whatever. So I don't believe people are being influenced. Obviously, having video, audio, and some of the things that go along with it. It's just, everything is stupid, right? And I guess I care or I see all the stuff going on, but knowing that, can't really stop the, imminent war with North Korea or China or Russia or anyone else. I can't really stop people from being racist, right? And I think what everyone's trying to do, like this lady with Racists Go Home, trying to shame one individual, and I'm going to stand for, I'm going to stand and do what look, I get it. But do you have nothing else to do with your time? I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people who have differing beliefs, and just because I don't believe them, and we have a court system and a legal system that's going to deal with some of these things, I'm not going to go driving around looking for somebody holding a protest sign. I mean, I see them outside the Planned Parenthood and outside abortion clinics, and I'm like, oh, you religious nut jobs and whatever. If you haven't noticed, I'm probably pro-choice. Actually, I'm not even pro-choice. I'm I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you do, right? Do what you want. It's your body. If you got drunk last night and had too many drinks and let fucking Jim from the auto shop, ejaculate inside of you, maybe your mind's eye wasn't, I'm going to grow up with the rest of my life and a mechanic as a daddy with dirty hands, and he makes $10 an hour. Now, granted, some mechanics can make a lot of money and whatever, not bashing on mechanics, but maybe that wasn't your mind's eye, what your ideal, mate, right? I just don't know if I accidentally came in you, we should have a child and then work from there, right? I think you should kind of pre-think it, like, this is a person, we have the same mindset, and this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and run down that road, and now let's choose to have a child instead of Jim the mechanic or, Barney the bouncer, right? I've seen many girls that seem to like the big guy bouncing at the bar, and I've been a bouncer a time or two. They kind of wake up the next day and go, what did I do? God, I hope I'm not pregnant, right? This guy seemed real funny last night, had a couple cool things to say, and now I'm raising a child. So I don't know. It was kind of weird and zany, the whole thing. The world's jacked up. I told a friend of mine, we had this conversation, and I was like, wow. I was like, everyone wonders why I'm like, fuck it, do what you want, go have fun, live every day like it's your last. We're living in really, really weird times, people, and it seems like the times are getting weirder. And people who do want to have kids and bring kids into this world and into this planet, why? What good? Unless you live somewhere where everything's awesome and some weird little Peyton place off in the middle of nowhere. Like, what are you thinking? Why would you possibly want to bring another life to this fucking planet? We're the highest office to govern our whole country is being taken by a reality star. You've got just so much friggin', I don't know. I mean, it's baffling. I just don't understand how everybody else thinks. That's why I want to do fun stuff, run around, enjoy my day, go to sleep, wake up, and hope we're not in a war the next day. And number 2, avoid people who are idiot neo-Nazis and people who have that strong opinions about anything, or separatists in general. I try and avoid them. I just want to help people quit smoking through vaping. I want to see a boob or two and move about the country, right? It's really all I can think I want to do. I mean, I guess have a soda, play with my dogs, run around, go do some stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, like I said, not a very funny segment, but this was just a little cliff-noted version of what in the hell's been going on over the last week or so. I'll be getting into some normal stuff here shortly. But yeah, it's all I can really think about on that. It's pretty stupid, pretty dumb. So I guess everyone, love each other or don't. And if you don't love the person, just fucking avoid them and let them do whatever they want to do with their life, right? Go fuck off. Go save fucking, kittens in trees. Do whatever the fuck it is you want. Let everybody else do what the hell it is they want without being a complete dick and asshole to everybody in the process, especially for color, creed, religion. Look, I'm anti-religion. I'm atheist, right? I could care less. I also don't go around fucking yelling and screaming at Christians. And I don't fucking begin to holler at Moosies and, oh, you damn fucking Buddhists, you guys and, your way of thinking. Just don't care, right? Don't care about you. Please don't care about me. And let's all get along, people. Can't we all just get along?